Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I wanted to do another book video today just because I haven't done one in a while and I've read a bunch of books recently that I've been really excited to come on here and talk about with you guys. It's occurred to me that I haven't done a wrap-up of sorts since literally last year. So today's video is going to be every book that I've read from January to March of this year and even what I'm starting to read now. I've read so many good books so far this year. Let me count how many I've read. 7, 8, 9. I've read 9 books so far this year. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when I tell you multiple books are over like 800 pages, you'll see why here in a second. Let me pull up my stats and I'm gonna get for you guys how many pages and everything that I read. I set a goal for myself this year to read 30 books in 2025, which is honestly not that big of a goal. I know that I've been really busy with school, however, so I wanted to give myself a lot of leniency and not put too much pressure on myself. So far I've read 9 books out of my 30 goal, which means that I'm 30% through with the year, and apparently I'm 2 books ahead of my schedule, so that's awesome. Let me add up how many pages I've read and I'll come right back to you. Alright y'all, so I'm back. I have the grand total of the number of pages I've read so far this year. This number does not include the books that I'm currently reading and I'm like halfway through and whatever. So far this year, I have completed books with a total of 4,539 pages. That's crazy. Anyway, I want to go ahead and get started into the books we've read this year because I have a lot of great recommendations for you guys. So starting off way back in January, I picked up The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. This book, let me tell you, kind of not appropriate to the season, but I read it for a video that I was filming. I think the video was like book scavenger hunt picks the books I read, and so I didn't have any choice over which book was chosen really. But I'm honestly glad that I picked this book up because it was really a much needed escapism from the winter season. I was kind of going through it this winter. So this book follows Meredith Fox, who basically her family takes a annual family vacation to Martha's Vineyard. She recently lost her sister, and so her family's taken a few years off of going with the rest of the family to Martha's Vineyard, and then this year is their first year back. There's actually a wedding in the family. I love a good wedding in the book, and it's going to be occurring at Martha's Vineyard this year. She recently got dumped by her boyfriend, and so she doesn't have a date to the wedding. However, she gets there and meets this really cute groomsman. What is his name? I don't know. But basically they start having all this flirtiness. There's a game going on of, I think it's Assassin or something, with like the water guns and all that. Very fun, summery vibes. Just something I needed, honestly. A good palate cleanser. It discusses a little bit of her grief over losing her sister, getting back out into the world, connecting with new people. It honestly is a really powerful message for such a YA book, and I really enjoyed it. Let me see what I gave this book. I ended up giving this book a solid 3 stars. Not extremely memorable, but just one of those cute books that is a good palate cleanser and a fun summer read. Would honestly recommend it if I was filming like a summer book recommendations. The next book that I read, I actually started in December and I finished it in January, so I still count it, but it is Heir of Fire in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. This is the, what number is this? The 4th book in the series by her, and oh my gosh. In this book we meet Rowan. If you know, you know. Just another banger. If you don't know about Throne of Glass, this is a fantasy, slightly romantic-y, but barely romantic-y at all. If you want that, I would recommend reading ACOTAR instead. This follows Selena Sardathian. She is an assassin and basically follows her life. I don't want to give too much away because I think you should honestly go into it without knowing a lot if you want to read this series, but so good. Back-to-back 5 stars. Something I enjoy about the series, especially this book, is that you get to experience all these different parts of the world. You're not just limited to the main city. You get to experience all these different continents as they travel around, and it's just so interesting because this book mostly takes place in a completely different part of the world. 5-star book. Absolutely loved it. The last book that I finished in January of this year was If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. This book was so good. Oh my gosh. So many hard topics, let me just say, made me literally cry. I'm doing a whole reading vlog on this book, so if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions, that should be coming out very soon. This book basically follows Autumn and Finn, who were childhood best friends but kind of grew apart over the years. Autumn kind of stayed very quiet and reserved and didn't have a lot of friends as she got older, and then Finn was more of like a popular boy. Basically, they find themselves kind of ignoring each other and moving on with their different friend groups, but underneath they still know there's this connection. Oh my gosh. This book is so sad. Prepare that you will bawl your eyes out. But also be warned of trigger warnings. I'd probably look them up before you read this book because But also it is a very big spoiler, so if you don't want to be spoiled, then don't look it up. But you've been warned. 5 stars. 5 stars. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I want to reread it, but there's nothing like reading it the first time. If you know, you know. Moving on into February, I of course had to pick up If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nolan. This is the kind of sequel story to If You Had Been With Me, and it follows more characters, kind of their point of view, and the after effects of the big event that happened in the first book. This book, I honestly don't know if it was necessary. I don't think the author thought it was necessary either, because she only wrote it because her fans wanted it so bad. But I think the point of the first one was to kind of leave you wondering, and it was supposed to end abruptly, I think. This book, I don't know, it was designed to tie up loose ends, but I think the goal was to have those loose ends untied, if that makes sense. You just have to read it to know. I don't know, but I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I enjoyed some characters' point of views more than others. It really opened you up onto different characters' sides and how they were feeling, and maybe, you know, they aren't exactly so bad once you're in their point of view and you know why they do what they do. Very insightful and such a good book. 3 stars. Okay, very next book I picked up was Queen of Shadows in the Throne of Glass series. This is the 5th book? Yep. Following Heir of Fire. In this book, Selena is back in her hometown again. Something about the writing style in this book, I don't know exactly when Sarah J. Maas wrote this book in comparison to the others, but it just seemed to be elevated to another level. I don't know what caused that exactly, but this book was so beautifully written. So many good quotes, and just, it seemed more mature in a way, but I enjoyed this book so much. 1000% recommend. Another 5 star. I'm so scared to finish the series because I know that I'm never gonna get this back. Like, there's nothing that compares to that first time you read. Such a good series. Y'all, give me series recommendations that is like Throne of Glass, because I don't know how I'm gonna recover once I finish the series. It's so good. So those are the 2 books I read in February. Now we're moving on into March. I read a lot more in March just because I guess it was a longer month or whatever. I got a bit more reading done. So following Queen of Shadows, I of course had to do the tandem read for Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. These are the next 2 books in the series. Technically you read this one first and then this one, but I had been seeing a lot of people online talk about how it's more fun if you read them intertwined together. So I did a bit of research and I found out that this book follows certain characters and this one follows other characters in the series. And if you read them one by one, the cliffhanger in this one, it's like such a big cliffhanger, and then to have to go into this one, it's like a lot to put yourself through before you can read the final book in the series. So yeah, I'm gonna start out with this one, my thoughts and feelings on it. Love this book so much. Let me just say, first of all, both of these are 5 stars. Guys, I sound like I just am throwing out 5 stars, but I promise you, just read the series, you'll know. It's so good. This book right here, I love the found family that's developing. It's so amazing. Nothing I love more than a found family, let me just say. The standing up for one another. I love the different point of views that we're following and how you get to see how they all interlap together and come to create the bigger story as a whole. Selena's just she's so strong, and I love her friends and the mission they've got going on. Oh, I just love it. Next we have this book, which I loved as well. A lot of people don't like this one so much, but I do actually like the characters that this book follows. It's interesting following kind of some trauma and how it interplays into your life and affects other aspects of your life, and how getting to the bottom of it can help you in more ways than one. I loved both of the romantic relationships in this book. They were so good. I was on my toes the whole time, and ultimately really liked the message behind this one. So that's as far as I am in the Throne of Glass series currently. I am about to start the final book in the series, Kingdom of Ash. I meant to start it a while ago, but now I'm reading another book just to kind of give myself a breather and make the series last longer, honestly. I'm gonna be so sad once it's over. But so in the meantime, I decided to pick up a few other books to kind of space some things out. I picked up First Time Caller by BK Borison because a podcast that I listen to, I don't know if y'all know these people, they're booktubers, Sarah Crowley and Destiny Sidwell. They have a podcast together and I absolutely love both their channels, so I of course had to listen. And for this year, they're doing a monthly book club for the podcast, and for the month of February, they actually picked out First Time Caller. Now, I read it in March, but nevertheless, it was still so good. Gives me very much Valentine's-y vibes. Basically, it follows Aiden Valentine and Lucy Lucy Stone. Aiden is actually, what is his job title? He's like a radio show talk host for a love romance hotline, and basically Lucy's daughter ends up calling in on account of Lucy, who is a single mother, and her daughter just thinks that she's a bit lonely, and so she wants to help her get herself out there and find her match, basically. So whenever Lucy's daughter calls in and Lucy ends up on the phone, that conversation actually ends up going viral online, and so the radio show is begging Lucy, please come in and be a part of our show because it's really helping our numbers. And so Lucy of course agrees, goes in, and the goal of the radio show at this point is to basically find her perfect match. So she gets all these people calling in, she goes on all these different dates, and it's basically finding herself and what she wants in a partner. Very funny, very cute. I really enjoyed the dynamic. A very sweet read overall. Such a Valentine's-y book. Like, I really wish that I would have read this around Valentine's Day instead because, I don't know, I think it would have hit a bit harder. Nevertheless, I do think it's pretty memorable given just like a romance book. A lot of them are kind of similar, and this one gives a very different vibe. It's like unique in a way, and the fact that it's a radio show. Really enjoyed it. What did I end up giving this one? Let's look. I ended up giving this one a 3.5 stars. The next book I read is none other than Beach Read by Emily Henry. The reason I picked this one up so early into the year is because I went on spring break to Florida. A little beach trip, so of course I thought, what else would I bring rather than beach read to read on the beach, you know? This book follows January Andrews. She ends up moving to this beach town because her father, who's recently passed away, left his beach house to her. She is a romance writer, and she ends up moving right next door to Augustus Everett, who is also a writer, but of literary fiction instead. Upon getting to know each other a bit, their neighbors and whatever, they realize that they're both kind of struggling with this writer's block and burnout, and so they decide to work together in that they switch their genres and see if this will help them get more inspiration to write. They end up going on all these little adventures to help give them like research for their books and stuff, and throughout that they develop kind of feelings for each other in a way. This book was so cute. I really enjoy Emily Henry, I've come to find out. She has such a way with words. I don't even know how to describe it. She just, the way, she won't just say, oh, the beach was warm. She'll give this like huge description into it, talking about all the different senses and sights and sounds. It makes it such an interesting read. It wraps you up into the story, and I just find myself where I can't put these books down. They're so good. I read, what's it called? Where the heck is it? Happy Place by her, and I ended up giving Happy Place 5 stars simply because that book followed basically a found family and other relationships and topics that people will deal with throughout their life. However, this book more so followed just a romantic relationship, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing the development of their relationship and how certain things that happen in your life can affect your romantic relationship. Plus their chemistry was so good. Something about two writers, it was so good, let me just say. I ended up giving this one a 4 stars. I don't know that it's gonna be that memorable for me, but just the writing style and their chemistry. Not a 5, but still really good. Finally, I recently picked this book up. This book I'm actually currently reading, so I didn't count it toward my page count or anything, but I picked up A Little Life by Hanya. I don't know how to say that last name, I apologize, but so far, I'm really enjoying the story. This book follows 4 college classmates that live in New York, kind of the stories of their friendship, their past, what brought them together, their relationships, lots of heavy subjects such as addiction, success, pride, lots of heavy subjects, but I've been hearing so much about this book, and let me just say, I'm tired of not knowing what's going on. I need to pick it up and see what the hype is all about. Now, I've heard that this book leaves you very sad. It's a very heavy book. So far, I can see how those themes are pretty up there, so I recommend being a little bit older whenever you read this book, probably, just because, I mean, I don't know, I haven't finished it yet, but I can already tell that it's gonna be pretty intense. But so far, so good. I'm really enjoying it. What page am I on? I'm in the middle of, what is this, part 2, following Jude. He kind of strikes me as the main character. I'm not really sure exactly, but I think he's the main character. But there's 4 of them, so we're kind of following his backstory at the moment, which is very interesting. I'm really inclined to figure out why he is the way he is, and I think that's what this book is gonna kind of explore. Not totally sure, but yep, I'm really excited about it, and I will let you know. I'm filming a reading vlog for it, so stay tuned. Anyway, guys, that is all of the books that I've read so far this year. Whoa! my gosh, there they all go. It's always so hard to make a stack. But yeah, that's all of the books that I read so far this year. I really hope you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts and opinions. Hopefully you might have even found a recommendation, a book that you personally want to pick up and read. It's been a great reading year so far. I've really enjoyed things. So this right here is my TBR, so if you see any of these you want me to read, let me know. Oh, as well as this shelf actually. I'm gonna be reading those soon and I'll probably film it if you guys want to see it, so just let me know. We're so close to 900 subscribers, guys. Please, it would really help me out if you would subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Illusion.